Welcome back. We have our Vision 2035 Vision Plan update next. And Richard, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor Gilmore, members of the council, fellow members of Team Lewisville. It's my pleasure to provide y'all an update on the Lewisville 2035 Vision Plan. We have 5 components of our update. The first one is an overall update on our touchpoint efforts, followed by takeaways on our big ideas phase. Then we'll move on to a discussion on the draft vision statement and the overall layout of the plan. And then the fun part begins. Part 4 will be a hands-on exercise on our new phase that we're entering, the big moves phase. So give y'all a chance to get up and give us a little bit of feedback there. And then we'll conclude our presentation with an overview of the next steps. So you've seen this graphic before. This is the 6 phases of the overall 18-month project. We've just surpassed the halfway, a little over the halfway point. We are right here about to start phase 4, working on those big moves. So with that, I am going to turn it over to our partners with Freeze and Nichols and they will be talking about the touch points. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank y'all very much. Whoa, excited to be here. Okay, so y'all know one of the most important parts of this plan, and something that we've been super entrenched with over the last several months is engagement. We set out a pretty lofty goal at the onset of this project to be able to get 8,000 touch points across the city, both virtual, in-person, neighborhoods, however we can get people to give us feedback of what do we want to see Lewisville like 10 years from now. So we've had a lot of different aspects of that. We've also done some very specific outreach to the Hispanic community. We have Veronica here with Rio Planning that has been an integral part of our team in trying to reach out. So we've done all kinds of different things. We're real appreciative of the city, of our committee, of all the staff, because they've been helping us get out into the community as well. So good news, of those 8,000 touch points, we've reached over 6,200 people so far in some way or another. So that's great. You'll just kind of see a little bit. Most of our engagement has been either online and virtual engagement, over 4,000 touch points. We've had about 1,900 touch points out in the neighborhood doing various campaigns and outreach and setting up at various events. Of course, we have an awesome committee and the subcommittees we're working with. And then the public workshop, we've had 157 people. That's a number we really want to get off. So I'm going to get up as we move forward. That's a number we would love to see more people out in person at that public workshop. So we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But overall, we're doing great in terms of feedback, and we feel very comfortable. So one of the things that you'll have in your packet, and you also have a handout, is taking 6,200 different touch points of information and synthesizing that down to 21 big issues. That's a lot of synthesizing that we've done. But you'll see up here on the screen just those 21 different issues that we've come up with. And again, it's in front of you to be able to look at. We took that, and as you know, we're kind of working toward this big action, but we've got these 21 big issues. We then started formulating that into, okay, what are the ideas? How are we going to solve these issues? And so you'll also have in front of you some of those big ideas, and Claire's going to talk a little bit more about that as we talk about our vision statement, and then we're moving into that big moves phase. So in the last community workshop, we took those big ideas. We had stations set up, and we've gotten feedback through different sources where we separated it into what we call these 6 buckets, really just more for the purpose of going through each of these: a quality of life station, natural environment, revitalization and economics station, investing in future generations, safety and community, and then infrastructure and mobility. So there was great feedback from all of those. And so what we did is we got some of those ideas from everybody that has seen these, and how would they work towards solving those. So that kind of then leads us to, okay, so what's the big idea? How are we going to solve these? What's the vision statement, and how do we frame that? So with that, I'll turn it over to Claire and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the big ideas that were provided, really, the first step was, what issues are we facing as a community? Second step was, what are your ideas as a community on how to fix some of those issues or address those issues, or ideas of what we want to be when we grow up in 10 years, right? We're always growing, I guess. But so I always said growing up to be 100 years old, and now we're beyond grown up. With those ideas, we basically consumed all of that and tried to put it into a vision statement, so that you understand what a vision statement is for a strategic plan. It's basically the North Star of the plan. It's you as council adopting with public input, what kind of community do we want to be at the end of this plan? It describes our desired future state, and it's the city's shared destination. So this was the feedback that we got from our steering committee. We took all that information, gave it to them. Can you go back to the last slide? Yeah. So some of the input that they gave was, welcoming and inviting could be words that indicate an action. Physical and digital connections are important and should focus on end goal of fostering human connections. There should be a higher emphasis on preserving natural area, the focus on future generations with regard to resource management. Growth and development needs to focus on redevelopment, because we're nearly built out. And so basically it's not just about focusing on growth, it's strategic growth. And that quality of life really is an important thing. When you look at 2025, it really wasn't discussed very much. I think it was kind of embedded in all of it, but really quality of life and safety of the community and being comfortable and having access to amenities was important. I think that kind of fell under diverse and thriving neighborhoods and some of the natural initiatives we made, but we kind of had to tie those together. But the steering committee said those things are important. Go to the next slide. So before we move on, I just wanted to, you do have at your table a draft of the vision statement, but beyond understanding what a vision statement is, I think we're kind of at a critical point where we want to understand tone of what you want. Because not only does this serve as your North Star, but it also should reflect who we are tone-wise. And why I think that's important, and staff feels is important, is this plan being written for academics, or is it being written for the everyman? Should it be accessible? Typically, they recommend that websites should be written at a 9th grade level. So is it casual enough to reflect our community? Is it accessible? Is it relatable? Those types of things. So if you go to the next slide, I want to show the difference in the tone and make sure that council's comfortable with the tone that we're going for. The other thing that's important to note is that if council is comfortable with this, our original plan had a lot of the background and the data analytics that every plan needs to have. It was incorporated throughout the document. We are thinking about moving all of that to an appendix and having the plan really be just very succinct, 20 pages, 30 pages, where it's written more in an accessible way. So this is the difference in kind of the tone. And this idea has been communicated back to the chairs of the various subcommittees, and they understand, they like this kind of direction. It's really, this is still a work in progress and we're fine tuning, but we wanted to just get feedback from you guys. So you can see on the side, like for example, by 2025 and beyond, Lewisville will be a community characterized by diversity, connectivity, resource management, and growth. And then this version, we're saying by 2035 and beyond, Lewisville is a city that shows up, welcoming, authentic, and bold, connected, thoughtful, and built to last. We are as real as they come. A place that grows with intention, protects what matters, and delivers a quality of life people feel every day. So I want to stop there because I'm not going to read all of these unless you want me to. But I would like to touch base with, does this ring true? and the idea of making it more accessible, beneficial.
So I have a thought about that, and when we were doing 2025, one of the things that I thought was so great about that plan and unique, which I'm sure you guys would think as well, is how the city itself, not just the planning department, but every department embraced that. And as a council, we embraced it. As planning and zoning, we embraced it. And all of our decisions were made based off of what we had in our 2025 plan. I absolutely love the thought of, on our 2035 plan, to take that same concept and bring it out to the broader community. And if we're going to do that, I think we definitely have to make it more digestible for people who are not in, city government or, consulting to city government. So if you don't have a planning back, anybody can read it and understand. And anybody that, they don't have to digest 100 pages. They could get just a quick, this is what we're doing. And if we want to incorporate everybody and get everybody on the same page, which I think is absolutely what we have to do, if we really want to get Lewisville where it sounds like the broader base wants to go, we have to simplify. And when I read the 2025, I was part of that committee that helped come up with that vision statement. So I was totally behind it. It made total sense to me, bought in, but it's very formal. And, I think the average person is going to say, well, I don't even really, what does that even mean? I love how casual this statement is. I really do.
I like this a lot. A lot. I was unique enough here. Chief McNeil, were you here when we did the 2010? You were a rookie. I think I'm the only one in this room that was able to take part in the first vision plan Lewisville had and the 2010. So to be able to go through the decades and still be in public service and see 2010, and then I worked on 2025, and now we're at 2035, and to see this wonderful evolution is fantastic. It grows with our population, but it's embracing. It is, you've done a great job. You've done a great job.
I'm going to lean in here just a little bit. I always get turned off by mission statements and vision statements that are just these big, flowery, you can tell, 10 executives went off to Cancun and made it up on a company dime. This is very approachable. I like this a lot. If I had to pick any one thing, and it's such a small thing, I almost didn't want to bring it up, but I'm a manager at heart, so I got to add something here, I think. I'm compulsed to do so. I would consider Lewisville Shapes Change with purpose instead of on purpose. I think on purpose just means you did it with intention. With purpose has a more positive, the very last sentence there.
With purpose, okay.
Instead of on, but that's such a nitpicky thing overall. I wouldn't lose any sleep with this at all. It looks great.
I don't see where.
The very last line.
With purpose instead of on purpose.
Change on purpose.
To change on to with. That's the only thing I could come up with. And that's just because I felt compelled to add something to this. So I can say I was part of this.
But wait, there's more. I love the language. I think it's good. It's connectable. It's reachable. I have some quibbles with the very first line and the very last line. I feel like planning for the long game, so prosperity and well-being stick around for the long haul. Sounds a little AI to me. Long game, long haul. You could just end it with sticks around, or change that to prosperity and well-being are centered, or it's getting a little sticky
Okay.
to me. And then the first one, there are definitions of the phrase shows up that are slang that means put other people down. So I have a little bit of a he showed up to like and put everybody in their place. So that I've seen that version of it. It's a young version. It's not a common version.
It's not one that I speak, but I
It's
understand.
not one. It's not.
It's one that's been used lately.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know. I think just Lewisville is a city that's connected, thoughtful, and built to last. We're as real as they come, a place that grows with intention, protects what matters, and delivers quality life people feel every day. Would work for me better than you could just kill that first line.
Okay.
Lewisville is a city that is welcoming, authentic, and bold.
Yes.
Sure.
Just take that shows up.
I'm not a fan of the bold word, but that's okay.
You're not a fan of the bold word either? What else don't you like, TJ?
I told you two things: the first line and the last line. Everything in the middle is great.
Well, let me ask this question, because
And again,
The
I
city
don't
that
even
is welcoming and authentic.
I don't even have a vote, so it's fine.
right.
no, but I am curious, because this is, I,
telling you that.
yeah, this is, I want, because I like the word, I like bold, but I'm just curious, what am I missing, TJ? Did you recommend just cutting that, or is there a different word you have in mind?
I'm a,
I don't mean to put you on the
It-
spot, I'm
so,
genuinely curious.
I don't see bold and thoughtful being compatible.
Okay,
I don't. Most people that I know that are bold get out ahead of their skis.
okay. I see
Like
that.
Ronnie. Ronnie's bold.
I'm very, very thoughtful. I think everything through.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I feel like the presentation that we had earlier today on the drones,
That's
I
bold.
think that's bold.
that's bold, yeah,
I think what we're
Yeah.
doing with our infrastructure planning is bold.
yeah.
It is bold.
So
Yeah.
I actually don't have a problem
Yeah.
with that word.
I'm willing to lose on that. That's not a problem.
I had
But
to
I
get-
do
yeah,
like what you said about the showing up.
yeah.
Lewisville is. Just go with. By 2035 and beyond, Lewisville is welcoming, authentic, bold, and connected, thoughtful, and built to last.
Right.
Okay.
Now let's go down to the bottom.
So planning for the long game, so prosperity and well-being are built into our fabric.
I don't know if, I'm, again, trying to keep with the ninth grade reading level.
Yeah.
So long game, so prosperity and well-being.
And you don't have to come up with it now. If you don't,
Yeah.
if
Apparently I
everyone wants
do.
us to work on it, we can work on it.
You started
This
this.
is just a draft. It has to come through the steering committee and then back to council.
Yeah, I'd like to maybe figure out how we remove the long haul, long game.
Okay.
It's too cute. It
Yeah.
smacks of AI. That's my take.
Okay.
I hadn't thought about that before, but yeah, I see the M dashes in there, and especially the M dashes, I'm going, oh, AI,
Yeah.
that's a,
Yep.
okay.
And just another note, having a 120-member steering committee is bold.
That is bold,
I mean, there's chatter all over the nation
yeah.
about our steering committee in the planning realm.
Is that good chatter or bad chatter?
Very good chatter.
It's mostly like, how do you manage that?
Yes.
More like
Understood.
amazement than.
I'll take amazement.
Now, we wanted to be inclusive and give those people that it's their first time sitting at the table
Yeah.
a seat.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not going to kill me if the word bold's in there. It's so okay. Any other comments?
Well, I actually, that brings me to a question, because on the touch points, I saw that there was an item for committees, and it said there was only 76. Am I right? So, yeah, it says committees and subcommittees, 76 touch points, but we have 120?
No,
They do a lot
started
of
with
group
120 people.
exercises.
What?
Some of that is in the form of group exercises.
Okay, so a touch point is not necessarily a person that we've connected with. It's just a data point, input. Okay. Okay.
No, and I like that we're doing, like, Lewisville's for everyone. This is a city that connects. Lewisville takes care of its own. Safety, health, and nature matter here. Growth doesn't happen by accident. I really like that we can boil it down to that, and then the rest is framing, I guess. But I like the little, like our vision, right?
Yep.
I am with you, TJ. I think about this bottom line here, and even the top one. I think brevity is important. You know, the longer you read, the more you have an opportunity to kind of wander. So I do think cutting that first one down, like you said, is good. And I can get behind, tighten up that bottom line as well. I'm with you.
That's, all right.
Right,
We good?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move us to the next part of this. This is where y'all get to give us some input. So, talked about all the big ideas that or all the big issues that we received. We then came up with the big ideas. So that vision statement is really what we're working from. So thank y'all very much for the input on that. Again, there may be some small tweaks, but now we really want to move into the big moves. Okay, so what are the big moves that we're going to do to accomplish what you just saw? So we thought we'd go through a real quick exercise with you real quick. That y'all got some boards behind you, and I'll let David talk about that.
Hello. Does everyone have a copy of the big issues in front of them? And then there's a second page that's got the draft vision statement and also the big idea. So you may have noticed the boards behind you. So there's a board for 2 people. So 2, 2, 2. And we're going to mark on those boards. And what we want to do is find out kind of the big issues that are important to you on these sheets. And then the related big ideas that go along with those issues. And then the suggested big moves to address those issues and ideas. So suggest those. There's 2 ways to kind of play the game. You can take an issue and then associate an idea and then suggest a big move, or you can just get all your priority big issues out, 1 through 5, and then go through and relate the big ideas and the big moves. So I think we have about 10 minutes for this exercise. It's a little after 2:30. So we'll come back in 10 minutes.
Just to emphasize, because I may have missed it, David, but the exercise is for you to pick your top 5 out of the 21. You don't have to do this for all 21.
Yeah, we only have space for 5. And time for 5.
We will be. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. You get to write.
Oh, are you serious? I look like a kindergartner.
You are the scribe.
Can't we vote on it? I can't write like that. We can't even vote on that? No?
I can. I've already voted.
Maybe I'll just steal a table. On these tables.
Okay, is everyone about done?
No, they're still working.
Okay. Well, we'll come on back. We want to do a quick report out.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, we only did 4. We knew you others needed more time, so. So our first item is strengthening Old Town. Related big ideas, the growth category. Try to create diverse businesses downtown. Lonnie's big ideas, the grocery store. We've all heard that. Selected big issue. We had items 11, 10, and 13. We thought those all kind of related to each other. Big ideas, Lewisville's for everyone. Obviously, that ties into our TSTC completion, expanding high school trade programs if possible. Third item was item number 4, connecting to Lewisville Lake and nature. That applies to connectivity. And then finalization and continuation of Lake Park Master Plan. Item number 8, revitalizing the Vista. Big idea is quality of life, and continue to implement the existing plan we have to completion or we will have.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm just over here looking for the overlap, and this is rough. So we identified issues 11, 8, 13, 19, and 12. Many of them were dealing with economic vitality, a diverse and thriving city, and then extending the green / placemaking for identity, place, and comms. I'm not sure if that's what you need or if that's too quick.
No, I think as long as you have it written down there, we can look at them. So there's only one overlap, or two, I guess there's two
No,
overlaps.
they've got 11,
Yeah.
13, and 8.
So
Yeah.
we have some overlap.
So
Okay.
we've got three of the
true.
5
You got 3
overlap. They got nothing.
They have
Okay.
nothing.
I'm just no overlap whatsoever.
Y'all are the stepchildren.
Well, they stuck me with Patrick.
I know.
So this is what
And we
Kristen
prayed
wanted to
for you.
do. Kristen wanted to do these. That was so that's what we did. So what's on?
It's on.
Hello? Okay. So we did support small businesses, transportation infrastructure. We actually combined 2. We thought that was fair. He gave us a box of plan. We rejected the box and combined 2 items. But transportation infrastructure and mobility we put together. We support diverse housing, neighborhood amenities, and then the Lake Lewisville work that we're doing out there.
Okay, so there's some good continuity there. Okay, very good, y'all. I know that was a real quick exercise, but we want to be real respectful of your time. But that is the kind of thing that we are moving into now, that is really, okay, what are those big moves that addresses some of those issues? So y'all are the first ones to be able to give us input. Obviously, y'all have our ear all the time, so if there's any additional input or things that you think of, but we'll synthesize this down. We'll be moving in to go into our steering committee and to our public. So the last thing I want to mention to you all is April 9th is our next community meeting. So we'll be also talking with the public at that time about big moves. I would love for everybody to push this out as much as possible. Like I said, we are trying to get more people. There's a lot of time and effort and energy that go into those in-person meetings. So that will be at Valley Ridge Church on April 9th. So please push that out for us. In the meantime, starting Monday, actually, we will be hosting meetings in a box. Those are brand new. I mean, we've done them before, but we just revised them again to focus on big moves. So those are opportunities for people to take those out into the community, and that's been great. I mean, that's been working well. We want to continue to push those out. So if anybody wants to be a part of this that even hasn't started yet, they can be. Those are put together, and then we'll have our last and final community vision workshop on the 4th. So thank y'all for number 4, not on the 4th, but number 4. So anyway, thank y'all very much for your quick time.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a fun exercise. I mean, there's a lot there. You can see a lot of threads that are going to consolidate onto each other. It's going to take more than 8.5 minutes to get it done. But I appreciate giving us the opportunity to kind of get a high-level view and start getting our thoughts wrapped around it. It's interesting the amount of language change that I think is coming between the two plans, which is fine. I think that shows some of our evolution. And I think it also maybe speaks to feeling like we've made some significant accomplishments in the last decade, and now it's time to pivot off of those things and move to the next tier. So I appreciate all the work.
Can I ask a couple quick
Yeah.
points here real quick? So first off, I can't tell you how much I appreciate slide 5, where we had it at something we're trying to accomplish. This is where we're at. That I love seeing that sort of thing. We have a goal, where we're at the goal. Even if it's not perfect, it gives us an idea where we're at. So I appreciate leaning in there. To that same sort of vein, maybe this is a question more for Rayo. The political climate's made your job difficult. Is there anything that we can do to help support your engagement with the Hispanic community that we're not doing, that we could do differently?
As far as support, I think the community just wants to feel heard in different spaces. What we are hearing is that they're concerned about safety, not so much with regards to crime or anything that's happening to them. A lot of them seem to really love the city. They're very fond of everything that it offers to them and very grateful. They just want to make sure that they're not now or in the future, targeted, either because of legal status or race. But as far as support, I would say if you know of any contacts or anybody that we can reach out to within the neighborhoods that we're at that would be willing to maybe host a community night, anything like that would be helpful. We can definitely come out a weekend in the evening. But overall, it seems like many of the residents are very happy here. And they love it.
I if you'd reach out to me later, because I have a good contact.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I think just continuing to provide the information as we've been doing, in a language that they understand so that they know what's happening. And I think the mention was made, to make things easily readable. That way they can fully understand, especially if they're new to understanding how government functions. Because that's one of the introductory things that we do when we speak to them, is let them know what is going on, especially if it's somebody that hasn't been involved with local government in a very long time.
Okay, thank you.
Super. All right. I think that's it. Appreciate you guys. It's always great to see you. It always means that we're getting good conversations about where we're headed.